Hello guys, let's continue with question 2. So it asks you to get so we have 3 tail and so you need to choose one tail to be used for the pool and you need to give a reason. And the reason must include a mathematical calculation. So what I will do, so you first need to get the area of each tail and you know the cost. So you find which one is most reasonable price. Yeah, the best price. So for the length, yeah. So I would prefer to change 100 millimeter to 10 centimeter first. Yeah, and to 0.1 meter. So I will use 0.1 meter for the length. And because this one is square for tail one, so the area for the first tail, so yeah, I just use black for this one. So that's A equal L square. L means the length, yeah. So that would be 0.1 square, yeah. So that would be 0.01 meter square, yeah. And the cost for each tail is 10 cents. Yeah, so for each tail is 10 cents. So what can we do? So we just calculate area first. And for the second one, so the length, we convert it into meters, so that becomes 0.3 meter. Yeah. And the width is also 0.2 meter. So that's a square. So for the area, so we can get the length times width. Yeah, length times width. The length is 0.3 and you times by 0.2. Yeah, so you can get the length, you can get the area as 0.06. Yeah, and for the third tail, yeah, so it's a triangle. So for the base, you convert it into meters. So that's 0.36 meter. And for the height, it's 0.28 meter. Yeah. So for the area of a triangle, it's 1/2 times by the base times by the height. Yeah. So that would be 1/2 times by 0.36 times by 0.28. Yeah, so that's how we do it. Then you can use a calculator. Yeah, so I just try to do a calculation, 0.5 times by 0.36 times by 0.28. Yeah, so in the answer, I get that's 0.0504. Yeah, so the area, so that's all in meters square. Meter square, meter square. Yeah, and meter square. And how can we convert how can we find the which one is the cheapest? So we can just try to find how much does it cost for one, how much for $1, how much area we can find. So for the first tail, so if it's $1, if we have $1, yeah, $1. Yeah, so if we have $1, so for the first one is 10 cents each, so we can have up to 10. Yeah, so we can have 10 of first tail. Yeah, so yeah, I just rewrite dollar, so this one is a little bit not clear. Okay, yeah, so it's for $1. For $1, so for the first tail, because it's 10 cents each, so we can have 10 tail. We can have 10 tail one. Yeah. So how what's the area does it have for $1? So we can use 10 times by the area, which is 0.01. So that gives you 0.1 meter square. Yeah. So if I spend $1 for the first tile, I can get 0.1 meter square. And what about the second tile? So the cost 25 cents per tile. And how many tiles we can have? So $1 divided by 25 cents. So that's 4. So we can have 4 tile 2. Yeah, we can have 4 tile 2. So that would cost. So how much area we have? So we can use 4 times by the area of each tile. So that's 0.06. Yeah. So that will give us 0.24. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, we spend $1 for the second tile. So that's how much area we have. So this is larger than the first one, which means this one is better than the first one. Yeah. And what about the third one? So it costs 20 cents each, and we have $1. So we can have how many? So we can have 5 tile if we spend $1. Yeah. We can have 5 tile 3. Yeah. So we can use 5 times by 0.0504. So that's the area for each one. So how much do I have in total? So 5. So that's 0.252. So we can tell. So that's meter square. Yeah. So we spent $1. So for the first tile, it's only 0.1 meter square. For the second one, it's 0.24. It's better. But for the third one, so it's 0.252 meter square. Yeah. So this one is the largest. So the third one would be the best. So this one would be the best. Yeah. So that's our mathematical calculation. But you need to write it in a sentence. You need to say which one is the best. Yeah. I will not do it for you guys. You need to do it by yourself. Okay. So let's continue. So that's question 2. Let's go to question 3. Yeah. So for question 3, so it asks us what is the total area of all the surface that will need tilling. Yeah. So for all the area, so that's a base. Yeah. So that's the base first. So we have done the base before. So I just show you again. So here is a base. Yeah. So we got the area down in question 1, and we also need to get the side view. So the side view for this one. So this one, yeah. So this is a side view. So we need to get the area of this one as well. So it's also been done in first question, and we also need to get the third part is this one. Yeah. So this one and this one. Because all the side need to be covered with tile. Yeah. So for the base, so and for the side view, okay. So let's go back a little bit to question 1. So for the base, for the bottom, yeah. So I haven't got the bottom area for you guys. So yeah, but you know how to do it. Yeah. So use the base plus the side view. So the side view, we got the answer. The side view is 132.5. Yeah, so that's the side view. Okay. So, okay. So we just go back here. 132, yeah. 132.5. Yeah, so because for the side view, we have 2 side view. Yeah. So for the first question, yeah. So for the first question, so what can we do? So for question A, so we can use 132. That's the side view, yeah. But we have 2 sides. We have the front, we have the back, yeah. So we need to times by 2, yeah. And we need to plus the base, yeah. Base is base is in question 1, yeah. So I told you here, 1D is a base, yeah. 1D is a base. So you do the calculation and then you need to plus. Which one do you plus? Yeah. So you also need to plus the side view. So the side for the first one is you plus 1 times 25. Yeah. So that's this bit here. Yeah. And for the second part, so it's this bit here. So it's 25 times by 4. So you plus 25 times by 4. Yeah. Then you can get the area of the first. So that's the total area. So I just write total area. Yeah, so that's it for the total area. So that's a calculation, and it asks you what's the number of tile that will be needed to purchase to put in the pool, and we do not. Yeah. So for the second question, so you cannot buy half tile. Yeah. So you will need to round your answer to the nearest whole number. Yeah. So how can we do this one? So because we choose the third tile, right? Because we choose the third tile, and for the third tile, the area, what is the area for this one? So for each tile, you got 0.0504 meters square. So 0.0504. So we just write it here first. So for question B, yeah. So for question B, for each area, so that's 0.0504. Yeah, so that's meter square. And how can we get the total number? So we use the total area divide by the area of each tail. So you can get the number of tail. Yeah. So number of tail. I just write number of tail. Yeah. Yeah. So this one equals total area. Yeah, which is the answer of the first question. Divide by the area for one piece of tail. Yeah. Of one piece of one tail. Yeah. Yeah. So we use this equation, we can find the answer. So for example, the total area, I said for example, so that's not true. So if the total area is 500, yeah. So use 500 divided by the area of each tail. Yeah. So 0.0504. Yeah. So then you can, for example, if your answer is 1000.2.5. So because we need to round it to the nearest whole number, so you must round it up. You must round it up to 1001. Yeah, so 1001 because we need to round it up. Yeah, so 1001. Yeah, yeah. So that's question B. And question C, it asks you to calculate the cost of tail. Yeah, now it's come to the cost. So the third question. So how much does it cost for tail? So if I remember correctly, so that's 0.25 or something. Yeah, so that's also that's 20 cents for per tail. So that's $0.2. Yeah. So $0.2 for each tail. So what can you do? Yeah. So we have 1001. Yeah. So 1001 is the number of tail times by the single cost is $0.2. Yeah. So then you times that two together, you get the total cost. Yeah. Okay. So that's how we do the third question. Yeah. And you need to do the calculation by yourself. Okay. And then we go to question 4. Yeah. So question 4, it asks you to calculate the volume of the main pole. So answers in both meter square or meter cube and liters. Okay. So yeah, because the answers in both unit, so you need to know first. So for question A, yeah, oh, sorry, I just use a different color. Yeah. So for question A, yeah, so you need to know 1 meter cube equals 1,000 liter. Yeah, so that's something you need to know. And how can we guess the volume of the swimming pool? So let's go up a little bit. Yeah, so let's go here. So the volume, so it's a cross-sectional area times by the height. So which one I will use? So the cross-sectional area, so I will use is this one. It's from the side view. Yeah. So the side view is this one here. So I just would use the area of the side view, which is this number, 132.5 times by the height is 25. Yeah, because the height is 25. Yeah. Okay, so we can just do it here. So yeah, so let's write it. Cross-sectional area. So volume, we use V for volume. Okay. I just use write the whole number. Volume equals area times by height. Yeah, times by the height. So the area is a cross-sectional area. So that's a side view. So that's 132.5 times by 25, because 25 is the height. Yeah. So you do the calculation for the answer. And for example, if the answer is yeah, for example, the answer is 25,000. Yeah. So that's meter cube. So for example, that's the answer, but that's not a real answer. I just give you one example. Yeah. So how can we convert it into liters? So we use this one times by 1,000. Yeah. So this one equals 2500 times by 1,000 liter. Yeah. So you can do it. Yeah. So that's been done. And for the second question, so if the so if the pool is filled with water at 1,100 liters per minute, so we want to fill the whole pool. How many times? So in hours and minutes are rounded to the nearest minutes. So what's the time we can fill the pool? Okay. So because we already know, yeah, because we already know the volume. So for the time taken, yeah. So for question B, yeah. So for question B, for time taken, yeah, time, yeah. So that's equals to the total volume, yeah. Total volume. So we can write total volume divided by the rate, yeah. So that would be total volume is this one. So if, for example, if it's 2, so that would be 1,000,000. I'm not too sure. So this is not the correct answer. So I just give you one example. Divide by the rate, yeah, 1,010, yeah. So you can guess the answer, yeah, time by yourself, yeah. So for example, if it's 15 hours point 26 hours, if you got that, that's also that's in minutes, yeah. Sorry, that's in minutes. That's not in hour. Yeah. So this one is in minutes. Yeah. So this is in minutes. For example, if that's the minute, yeah. So we need to round it to the nearest minutes. So we round it down. Yeah. So we round it up. Yeah. To the nearest minutes, because we need to fill the pool. So that would be 16 minutes. Yeah. So for the third question, so we need to add something chlorine to the water. So for question C, we need to add something to the water, yeah. And for safety use and for the pool, so for every 500 liters of water, we need to add 1 milliliter, yeah. So we need to find how many milliliter of the volume of the chlorine for the main pool. Okay, so because it's 1 milliliter for every 500 liters of water, so we can just find how many 500 liters we have. Yeah. So for the third question, for question C, you can use the total volume divided by 500. Yeah. So that's how many 500 liters we have. Yeah. So that's how many 500 liter of water we have. We have. Yeah. So how do we do the calculation? So we use the total volume. Yeah. So we use the total volume. Yeah. So total volume. Total volume of water in the pool divided by 500. Yeah. So you can do the calculation. So that's 2500000 and divided by 500. Yeah. Oh, 500. Sorry. Yeah. So for this one, you can guess roughly. For example, the answer is 5,000. For example, yeah. So you need to use this one times by this one. So you need to use and just put this one down. Okay. So you need to use 5,000. So that's how many 500 liters we have. So we use 5,000 times by 1 milliliter. 1 milliliter. Yeah. So 1 milliliter. Yeah. Yeah. So that's total is 5,000 milliliter of chloride. Yeah. So this question has been done. Yeah. Okay. So that's very good. If you have any questions, you can ask me on Zoom meeting for Wednesday, period 6 and Friday, period 4. Okay. So if you have any question, ask me in our Zoom meeting. Okay. And for question 5, yeah. So we have the top view of the kid pool. Yeah. And so that's a top view. So that's how we see from the top. And the curved wall at the end of the pool is 90 centimeter deep. So in 3D, so the depth of the pool would be 90 centimeters. Yeah. So there are plans to cover the curved section. Yeah. So we have this fish, tailed fish. We have this one. So the first one, what is the area of the curved wall? Okay. So for the area of the curved wall, so we need to imagine this one is in 3-dimensional. Okay. So for the curved wall, we need to find the total length. So circumference of this top view and times by the height, that will be your total. That will be the area of the curved wall. Okay. So the total length, yeah, we need to find the total length of this one and times by the depth will be the area. Yeah. Okay, that's how we do it. So how to find the total length of this one? So we know this bit will be 8 and here's 20. Yeah, here's 20. So and here's 8. So the radius, because this one is half circle, right? So for if it's a circle, so the how to say so circumference for the circle. So the circumference of the circle will be pi times d, right? The d will be diameter, which is 8 centimeter or 8 meter, and but it's half circle, so we need to divide by 2. Yeah. So I just quickly do the calculation here. Okay. So for the first question, so we just try to find the length of the circle, the length of the circle. So that's a pi times d. Yeah. Okay, so d would be 8. Yeah, so that's 8 pi times 8. Yeah, so you can use pi You can find calculate, you can use pi in the calculator, or you can use 3.14. Okay, so I would prefer to use pi as 3.14. So that's 3.14 times by 8. Yeah. So that's for the whole circle. Yeah. So what is this one? 3.14 times 8. So that gives you 25.12. Yeah. 25.12 meter. But it's half a circle. So half a circle, what is half a circle? So we can, so for the area of this bit, half circle is 25.12 divided by 2. Yeah, because it's half circle. So that will give you 12.56 meters. Okay, so that's the curved, that's half circle. And for the total length will be 8. Yeah, with the left hand side, plus 20, which is this part, and plus another 20 is this part. Yeah, plus 20, and plus by the half circle, which is 12.56. Yeah, so that's the total length. So I will not calculate the total length for this one. So you need to do the calculation by yourself, okay? And so you get the total length, you times by the dips, which is 90 centimeter. Yeah, so the area, but you need to convert 90 centimeter to meter. So because 90 centimeter, yeah. So this one will be 0.9 meter. Yeah, and for area, also this will be the height. Yeah, so this is the height. Yeah, area would be the length times by the height. Yeah, so length times by the height would be yeah. So the length you got here, you do the calculation times by the height, then you get the area. Okay. And then the question B asks what is the area of one fish? Yeah, so area of one fish. So that's a challenging one. So you need to find the area of this complex shape. So this is a fish. Yeah. So the left part is a triangle, right? The left part is triangle. So for this area. So for the first area, this triangle, so we need to use the base times by the height. So it tells you this 40 centimeter is, yeah, I think it's half. So the whole thing will be 8. Oh, sorry, that would be 80 centimeter. Yeah, would be, yeah, would be this bit. Yeah, so it's a triangle. So yeah, so let's just do the calculation. So for area 1, so that's triangle. So for A1, so that's 1/2 times by the base times by the height. Yeah. So that will give you 1/2 times by 80. So 80 centimeter. So I would prefer to use meter. So that's 0.8 meter times by the height is 10 centimeter. So 10 centimeter would be 0.1 meter. Yeah. So that's the area of the first part. And for the second part, so for the second part is the rhombus. Yeah. So for the second part, so the area is the diagonal times together. Yeah. And divide by 2. So for the first diagonal, yeah, it's 40. So this bit, I just use a different color. Yeah. So for this diagonal, this one would be 40. Yeah. Centimeter. Yeah. And for the second diagonal, I use another color. I use green. Yeah. So for the second diagonal, that would be 80. Yeah. So it would be 80 centimeter. Okay. So now for the area of the for the second area. Okay. For the rhombus area. So that's 1/2 times by the diagonal D1 and D2. Yeah. Okay, so that's 1/2 times by 0.4, which is 40 centimeter, times by 0.8. Yeah, 0.8. Yeah, so you then you do the calculation, and for the total area, yeah. So for the area of fish, so I just write area of fish. Yeah, so that would be A1 plus A2. Yeah, then you can do the calculation by yourself. Okay. And for the third question, what is the maximum number of fish? Yeah. So maximum number of fish can fit on the curved wall. Yeah. So no half fish. Okay, so for this one, maximum number of fish. So I think this is the third question. So you need to do this. Okay, because I don't think so you can. Okay, so you need to find the area of this rectangle. Yeah, because for fish, that's the only way we can do it. Yeah, that's the only way we can put a fish, because you cannot just put fish overlap each other. So you just find the area of this one. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so we just try to find the area. Okay. So for this one, so I just use a different color. So for this part, so the horizontal part, that will be 10 plus 40 plus 40. So that will be 90 centimeter. Yeah. And for the vertical part, yeah, so I just use a different color. So for this part, it's 40 plus 40, that will be 80. Yeah. So that will be 80. I just write 80 here. Yeah, 80 centimeter. Yeah. So for one rectangular, so the area, okay, so I just put area here. Yeah, so the area of one fish, yeah, will be 0.8 times by 0.9. Yeah, so that gives you 0.72. Yeah, so that's this one. Meter square. So for the maximum number of fish, so you use the total area, which is the answer from question A. Yeah, so I think this one would be, for example, if it's a 100, for example, this one will be 50, 500 meters, meters square. Yeah. For example, that's not true. Okay, so for number of fish, yeah. So use total area divided by area for okay, so area, so for this one, yeah, divided by A0, so that would be 500 divided by 0.72. Yeah, so you do the calculation, you can find the answer. Okay, okay, that's good. So that's finished for question. Yeah, so this question is question 5. Okay, so we'll just do one more. So for question 6.
一共几道题啊？嗯。嗯。